Right, gather round your nerds because it's time for this grumpy Yorkshire git to serve you a piping hot plate of disappointment. Today's special, Helldivers 2. Now some of you might remember that hyped up launch, big numbers, explosions, the whole shebang. Well, guess what? Things have gone about as well as a snowball in a blast furnace. Sony, bless their corporate hearts, thought Helldivers 2 would be their golden ticket to the live service gravy train. Turns out that train left the station a while back and Helldivers 2 is stuck on the platform with a rusty spork and a lukewarm cuppa. Now let's talk numbers, shall we? Because in the land of live service games, numbers are the king, queen and the entire royal court. Helldivers 2 on PC at least started with a bang. We're talking near 500,000 players at its peak. But here's the kicker, that was the peak. Been all downhill from there. Dropped so steep you need a jetpack and a death wish to attempt it. We're talking a nosedive of 90%, folks. 90%. That's more players who abandoned ship than a fleet retreating from a cybernetic kraken. So what went wrong? Well, Sony decided to pull a right corker and require PlayStation Network sign-in for PC version. You heard that right. You want to fight alien bugs on your fancy gaming rig? Gotta have a PlayStation account, apparently. I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but that move seems about as strategic as launching a nuke with a rubber band. No wonder PC crowd scattered faster than rotors at a light switch. Alright, so PC launch got really messed up, but surely things got better on content side, right? Wrong again, me inquisitive chums. Helldivers 2 might have a constant stream of new stuff, but most of it feels like a desperate attempt to plug a sinking ship. There's been a buff patch here, new enemy race teased there, but it's all a bit underwhelming. Especially considering the higher levels are still a slog through punishment disguised as gameplay. You want a challenge? Try explaining the appeal of microtransactions to your grandma. You'll get a similar level of frustration. And here's the kicker. Even with this constant drip feed of content, there's no real endgame. No major expansions, no clear roadmap. Just a treadmill of grinding with a view that wouldn't inspire a slug. Is it any wonder players are jumping ship faster than a frog in a hot pan? Now, some folks might be thinking, hey Scotty, you grumpy git, what about the monetization? Surely that keeps players sweet. Well, that's where things get interesting. Helldivers 2 actually has one of the most player-friendly economies you'll find. Premium currency is easy to earn in game, meaning you don't have to break the bank to deck out your Helldiver. Great for us players, sure, but for Sony, who's looking for that sweet recurring revenue from a live service game, not so much. Imagine running a lemonade stand and giving away free drinks all day. That's basically what Sony's doing here. Except instead of lemonade, it's fancy hats and robot dog companions. But what does this all mean? Well, it paints a pretty grim picture for Helldivers 2's future. The game might have had a decent launch, but without a strong player base, a live service game is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. So, let's not forget the biggest elephant in the room, the competition. Live service market is a battlefield, folks, and Helldivers 2 showed up armed with a spork against a squad wielding rocket launchers. We're talking established giants like Fortnite and Call of Duty, games that have been refining their live service formula for years. Helldivers 2 just doesn't offer that same level of polish, that constant stream of engaging content, or that feeling of progression that keeps players hooked. Don't get me wrong, Helldivers 2 could have been a contender, but Sony stumbled out the gate, made some questionable decisions, and ultimately just couldn't keep up with the big boys. It's a harsh lesson, but one that hopefully Sony will learn from. Live service games are marathons, not sprints. You need more than just a flashy launch to win the race. So there you have it, folks. Helldivers 2, a cautionary tale of missed opportunities and misguided strategies. Is the game a complete write-off? Maybe not, but for now it's a ghost town more populated by tumbleweeds than players. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think this calls for a proper Yorkshire remedy. Anyone up for a pint and some good old-fashioned grumbling about the state of the gaming industry? Smash that like button, hit subscribe and leave a comment below. Tell me your deepest, darkest shooter woes. Might just feature them on the channel. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent